Hey everybody, this is DraftKings. Welcome, I am Tyrone Atkins, and this is Euro 2016. We're here at the end of the tournament, everybody. What a carnival of football it's been. It's been absolutely fantastic, isn't it, gentlemen? I'm joined here today with Jamie Hinks, Edo Del Monte, and Andy Davis. Gentlemen, what we're here to talk about now is our player, our manager, our loser, and our game of the tournament. Shall we start with player? I think we're probably all going to be on the same page here. Andy Davis, who's your player of the tournament and why?
It's Griezmann, isn't it? It's got to be. Got to be. He's dragged France single-handedly almost through to the final from the group stages, from the knockout stages. Yeah, I think originally it was Payet, and as Payet faded, Griezmann's taken over. And yeah, I think great French teams now. You talk about Platini in the 80s, you talk about Zidane in the 90s, and now Griezmann will be spoken about in the same breath if France go on and win it. So. Yeah, Griezmann for me.
Even beyond Thierry Henry, should we say?
Thierry Henry was never really. He was centre forward in the Zidane team. He wasn't really a guy he never really wasn't talismanic.
True.
Okay, Jamie Hinks, what say you?
I've gone for Antoine Griezmann as well, just because pure 6 goals. There's no other. There's only one other player who scored above 5, and that's Platini in a Euros tournament. Which was 9 in 84, which is ridiculous. Anyway.
One less round though as well, actually, which makes it slightly more impressive.
Yeah, I mean, that's an incredible feat, and he will probably end up being the top scoring player ever in the European Championships because he's only got to get past 9, and he's got however many tournaments left in him, Griezmann. And I think his movement for the second goal against Germany last night was really, really good. And plus, to come back from being probably France's most disappointing player in the first game, to then just building and then just becoming this absolute beast, which we knew he was. It's just incredible. And that with all the pressure of being the host nation and everything that comes with that as well, he's an amazing little player.
He needs to sort his celebration out, doesn't he?
Nice quality.
Not having that.
Yeah, actually, I'm with you on that, Andy Davis. I think he needs to work on that. Come on, you're better than that, Griezmann.
No.
Edo, is this a full house?
Yeah, it is. Antoine Griezmann all the way, for the reasons that you guys have talked about. But there are a couple of other things. Tactically, for example, for Atletico, he does a heck of a lot of things. You'd almost say he does everything. I mean, it's not going to be long until he's mentioned in the same breath as the Ronaldos and the Messis at this stage, because he's simply a monster. And for France, for example, whenever they're on the counter, the first pass goes to Griezmann. Pogba's often looking for Griezmann. Against Germany, you could see it when they tried to counter. He's often looking for him on that terrible pitch. And Pogba's passing yesterday was a little bit off on the counters as well. But if he's the guy who's picking the ball up outside the box and going for the 1-2, he shouldn't be scoring so many goals, and yet he is. And he had that chance against Germany, he tried to place it, for example. You just see like he's oozing skill, oozing class, and as well, he seems to have good judgment as well. So that first chance he had that Neuer managed to palm away, many lesser strikers, but still very talented strikers would try to blast that. He instead tried to place it. You know, against Albania, France's renaissance, that was him. Yeah, he simply is a monster.
He dragged them kicking and screaming against Ireland. They were 1-0 down at half-time. He was phenomenal then. And then that chip against Iceland was absolutely sublime. Yeah. And he's only 4'2", or something like that. He's quite a wee man, diminutive figure, isn't he? He's a wee man, mighty mouse. He is brilliant. I agree. He has to be the player of the tournament. We've not even got to the final yet. So, manager of the tournament. Very quickly, because this amuses us all. Andy, who was the worst manager of the tournament?
Mark Wilmots.
Brilliant. Let's move on to the best manager. Because I was going to argue with you because of sheer talent, of course, that Belgium had at disposal and how limply they went out.
I'd make a case for Roy.
Yeah, I was going to say Roy.
Roy
Wilmots, let's say.
Roy Wilmots. Oh, right. The Brangelina of football management. I love it. Yeah, can't argue with that. But who was the best, Andy? For you?
Well, I didn't rate this guy at the start of the tournament, and I slagged him off royally for most of it, but I will hold my hands up and say that I've been proved wrong. I'm going for Chris Coleman.
Absolutely.
Because of what he made Wales achieve. You know, they got to the semi-final, and that is in no small part down to Chris Coleman. And maybe not his tactics, but the way he was able to, you know, unify that group of players and make them as a team play better than the sum of their parts. I think tactically he's not the greatest manager in the world, but yeah, to get that team together and to lift the nation, you know, Chris Coleman, I think for me, absolutely well done. I still don't like him.
You don't have to like him, Andy, but you have to respect
something. He does really still really annoy me, but there we go.
Permatan, younger wife.
What it was, he was doing a co-commentating job on a Spurs game about 4 years ago, and all he did was just his co-commentary was just to repeat what the commentator had just said, and it really got on my nerves. And since then, I've just hated Chris Coleman. I've never claimed to be a rational individual, but that's possibly the reason why I don't like him. And he's a bit arrogant as well.
Andy, this has been brilliant. You've been ragging on Chris Coleman for weeks now during the whole entire tournament. The truth has come out. It's because he bored you during a Tottenham game.
I'm an unforgiving person.
You really are very small. Anyway, I agree though. Chris Coleman's been brilliant, and I'd say tactically he was. I disagree with you. I think tactically he actually did rather well. It's just he did have a limited squad, but he dragged the best out of them. Jamie, manager of the tournament.
Fernando Santos, Portugal's manager. I think the way that he changed the team after the group stage, when they were, as we've all discussed, very disappointing, but we kind of had an inkling that they were going to probably make it to the final, however bad they were.
Yeah.
I think it was a masterstroke just changing them up. He changed almost the whole defence after the group stage. It's not the same defence. Cedric came in for Vieirinha. Guerrero's still there. Bruno Alves is somehow still getting in that team, but he has Jose Fonte there now. He took out Moutinho, which I think was a masterstroke because he was not playing very well. He was scoring very low on DraftKings.
Alicia in there as well, didn't he?
Yeah, and he's just... They look...
Carvalho was taken out as well.
Yeah, Carvalho, that's what I mean. Carvalho for Fonte.
Who is about 50 years of age as well.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, having Carvalho and Bruno Alves at the back is not a good idea. But yeah, they conceded 3 goals against Hungary, but that was as bad as it got. And I think they've done really well to actually think to yourself, oh, maybe I'll play Ronaldo and Nani up front. It seemed like he maybe he's a little bit bonkers, but he's not. He's
hard to argue.
Even those 3 goals against Hungary were just deflections on people's asses.
And yes, they did get a bit lucky playing Wales without Ramsey, but you still got to beat them. And this Wales team have been lauded by almost everyone in this tournament.
But not by you. You've been ragging on Wales. We've got to move on. We've got to move on. We've got to move on to Edo. Edo, your manager of the tournament. Who are you going to give us?
Again, Italian bias, but Antonio Conte for me was absolutely sensational. Yeah.
It was entertainment value, if we're honest. A lot of entertainment value. You would say tactically and
yeah, the way he drove that team, the way he organised it. I mean, I think anybody would have signed below the dotted line for wins against Belgium and Spain before the tournament. You know, making it to the quarters. Again, a fairer draw. Italy would have been maybe semi-final losers, which I think would have maybe been fairer, a representation of what that team is.
Okay, I find it hard to argue with you because I'm a Chelsea fan.
He dresses like a Vegas magician.
He does, yeah.
Not having it. Not having it. This is like the manager of a.
So good.
He dresses like the manager of a rubbish restaurant in Maida Vale. It's not for me. Black shirt and black suit.
He's got his mother in the kitchen, just yells at her.
Yeah, it's not right. It's not right.
This is incredibly mean-spirited, but I don't know if we have to decide on who is the manager. Oh, you've all got your opinions. I'm inclined to agree with you, though, Andy. I think it has to be Chris Coleman for me. No one's expecting anything of Wales. They weren't expecting anything from that gentleman whose management career up to that point had been very poor, even to his own admission. So, this is the best bit. This is the bit I'm looking forward to. I'm going to start with you, Jamie. You've got a lot of vitriol today. Who's your loser of the tournament? Who's the loser?
I mean, everyone can probably guess who my loser of the tournament is, but it's Romelu Lukaku.
I thought it was to say Roy Hodgson, but all right.
No, Roy's had. We've gone over.
We've done enough.
We did it.
We've run over Roy.
Video
We've done enough.
England are so bad.
Yeah, weirdly, you haven't done enough on Romelu Lukaku.
No, I haven't done enough on Lukaku.
Let's get it.
I feel like people are still. He's still going to get transferred somewhere for like £70 million, and it's ridiculous. He was so poor in this tournament that.
Ireland aside, of course, there was some good things.
That was so easy.
It was easy.
It was the easiest 2 goals. Harry Kane would have scored those in this tournament. Actually, no, he wouldn't. But you should. I know Wilmot's is bad, but like some of the chances that Lukaku missed. I mean, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know whether he's he looks disinterested. He looks incredibly unconfident.
I find this very difficult because if I was going to pick a loser out of those 2 names you just mentioned, out of Romelu Lukaku or Mark Wilmot, there's only one winner of the loser.
I'm picking a player. If I was picking a manager, it would almost definitely be Roy Hodgson. But as a player, I think you've just got to, in terms of expectations and how good he supposedly is, and how many goals he scored in one of the best leagues in Europe last season, he was really, really poor.
The thing is,
what's happened?
he does score goals, though.
Martinez.
Oh, listen, right.
So ultimately, it's Martinez.
I'm addressing you all here, DraftKings viewers, people that watch this regularly. You will know by now that these two gentlemen, Jamie and Andy, have a major problem with Roberto Martinez and Romelu Lukaku. We've got to move on. You're loser, Andy.
Thomas Müller. Didn't score. He hasn't scored in 2 tournaments. And Germany were toothless up front without... If you can be rubbish up front without Mario Gomez, that says a lot about your other options. And Thomas Müller, the amount of money he costs on DraftKings, his points were dreadful. I don't think he got double figures at all during the tournament. And you know, in a World Cup, he's incredible. But weirdly, he's going to be a pub quiz question. You know, top scorer at a World Cup, yet can't score a single goal at a Euros. So Thomas Müller for me, and a special mention to Zlatan, because he was dreadful.
But we love Zlatan. Edo, who's your loser of the tournament, my friend?
Oh, there's so many Eastern European strikers who were promising.
Let's go with one that we've all heard of.
Yarmolenko of Ukraine. Because he was a hipster pick in the group stages. We all fought. Well, we fought for good reason, because they played well in the friendlies. They blasted away a number of teams, including Albania, but also better teams. They played well in qualifiers. Fomenko seems like a competent coach. You look at the lineup and you go, these guys should be doing better. And it's a toss-up between Ukraine and Russia to who disappointed us the most. And in Yarmolenko's case, it's half him taking shots way too early, and it's half of the team just didn't seem to have a clue how to play. So ultimately, it comes down to he's the loser in the sense that he was badly served by the team around him. Because Lewandowski eventually got a goal and was on a team that was doing reasonably well. Maybe more his fault. In Yarmolenko's case, it's both, which I think is a double whammy.
Didn't score and was part of the team that lost to Northern Ireland. So, I mean...
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
A lot against him. Right, finally, guys, we've got to be very quick here. Game of the tournament for you, Andy.
Portugal-Hungary, the 3-3 draw. It was the first game for me in the tournament that kicked the tournament into life a bit. The group stages have been a bit sort of iffy, but that was a cracking game. Ball was flying off people's arses. Ronaldo suddenly remembering who he is. 6 goals. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
And you know what? I couldn't agree with you more, because that was on my daughter's birthday, and that party did not get started until that game ended. I know, it really did. Everything was on hold. It was phenomenal.
Well, yeah, like disappointed kids and a clown waiting in the corner.
Care less. Sacked the clown. Sacked the clown. Edo, your game of the tournament.
Okay, I am biased, but I'm also not biased. I think Italy-Spain was by far the best game in terms of... I would have had Wales-Belgium in there, but I have an issue with the fact that Belgium were incompetently coached, and that really showed in the second half. Also, Italy-Spain, I don't think Spain were badly coached. I think they got their tactics wrong, maybe, but they were a threat throughout the game. And so many chances. It was entertaining from the first to the last. And you got to see a lot of great things, the best of Italy, some good stuff from Spain. Yeah, seesaw, you know, loads of chances missed. It was
definitely an interesting game, because I think we saw the end of the Spanish era, if anything. Possibly, I think that might be the case. And Jamie, finally, game of the tournament.
Germany-France. I don't think any games got anywhere near that game. It was such a good game last. It was so exciting. Germany attacking, then France scoring. Germany attacking for most of the second half. France scoring again, and then everyone doing that Icelandic chant at the end.
That was awesome.
I've got a problem with that.
I do.
Because it always gets stolen. You know, little Iceland have got this one thing, and now everyone's going to do it. The Premier League's going to be a wash of it. Personally, everybody...
I'm not sure. I've seen French fans do that in...
Nantes fans do that, yeah.
Oh, I want to give it to the Icelanders.
Nah, they robbed it.
All right.
We all rob it. Like, Italy robbed the 2006 theme, and now it's being used as music for the goals, which is really irritating. But you always steal, don't you? It's a copycat league.
Oh, well, we're all miserable here, aren't we, for some reason? For me, personally, it was Wales versus Belgium. I thought it was the best game of the tournament myself. I thought it was electric. But what did you think? Let us all know if you want to. Everybody, this is DraftKings. Why don't you pick your 8-man roster, certainly for the final that's coming up in a few days' time? Welcome to the big time.